close one. I almost went home with that guy.
You doing okay? Do we need to go?
No, I'm fine. I admit all these people did take me by surprise at first, but I've learned that I can accept change.
Since when?
I managed it when Amy switched her shampoo from Prel to...
The 100th episode of Young Sheldon did not include many Big Bang Theory Easter eggs, which surprised some fans expecting references to the parent show. Co-creator Steve Molaro explained that the episode was not intended to be a special celebration, but rather a compelling story that the team was excited to tell. The focus was on Paige, a recurring character whose storyline had evolved beyond her rivalry with Sheldon. The writers chose to highlight Paige's emotional growth, a theme central to the show's development. Molaro emphasized that Easter eggs are included when they come naturally, rather than being forced into the narrative. Why Young Sheldon's 100th episode didn't include the Big Bang Theory Easter eggs. There are few milestones more important for a sitcom than its 100th episode. That's the moment where most shows officially reach syndication status. With over 100 episodes, the network can now play one episode each weekday for the entire year without ever having to repeat, giving casual viewers plenty of chances to get invested, or reinvested, in the show. So, when a series hits its 100th episode, that's a good sign that the amount of money the cast and crew make for residuals is about to increase. The importance of syndication has declined a bit in the streaming age, where many viewers no longer use cable and therefore are not tuning into whatever's currently playing. This was but one of many issues that led to the 2023 writers' strike. Still, this hasn't stopped a 100th episode of any sitcom from being cause for celebration. If nothing else, it's a big accomplishment for a show to last that long and still have viewers invested. The majority of shows don't even make it past the first season. It was particularly impressive for Young Sheldon since its 100th episode was also the 379th episode in the Big Bang Theory TV universe. The episode in question, Season 5's A Solo Peanut, A Social Butterfly and the Truth, aired nearly 15 years after the character of Sheldon Cooper first graced our screens, and there were still 2 seasons left before the Sheldon-centric spin-off wrapped up. However, this episode didn't reference much from its parent show, whereas some fans expected young Leonard or young Penny to unknowingly cross paths with the Cooper family. The 100th episode instead focused partly on Paige, McKenna Grace, a recurring character who never appeared nor was mentioned at all in The Big Bang Theory. It's also the episode where young Georgie, Montana Jordan, learned he was going to be a father, and the mother was a character who had never been mentioned in the series' parent show either. In a 2022 interview with TV Line, Young Sheldon co-creator Steve Molaro discussed a lot of the thought process that went into the show's 100th episode. We were a little hesitant to try and intentionally make a quote-unquote special episode. I don't think viewers at home are terribly aware of the number, he explained. Our main goal was to put out an episode that we thought was good and we were proud of, rather than force it. Regarding the lack of Big Bang Theory Easter eggs in this episode, Molaro noted, "We typically work in Easter eggs as they come up organically. It's not often that we'll build an entire episode around them, though there are 1 or 2, obviously, like when Sheldon wanted to see Stephen Hawking speak and his father took him to Pasadena, in the aforementioned Caltech episode. I don't even think we thought about whether there was a Big Bang Easter egg we could squeak in." As for why the show's writers chose to give Paige so much focus, it was mainly because Paige, another child genius who served as Sheldon's rival in early seasons, had one of the more interesting storylines in the whole series. She started out as a gimmick character before her parents' divorce sent her down a very different and more troubled path than Sheldon. In a lot of ways, Paige is a good example of how the spin-off had grown so far beyond its parents' show. Sheldon's relationship with her had become compelling for reasons that had nothing to do with the question of how's this gonna tie into adult Sheldon's life. Paige didn't need to have been mentioned in The Big Bang Theory to get audiences invested in her life. As Molaro put it, we were just trying to find an episode that we were excited to write, more so than doing anything special because it was number 100. This story of Paige came up, and we thought it was interesting that it involves 2 child prodigies who are in college at age 12. but it's also deeply rooted in the emotional growth of those characters and the show itself.